Hey there, BNI Maine. Niels Mack, your Executive Director. So this week's tip is around more education and protocol for visiting other chapters as a BNI Maine member. We get questions all too often of, I'd like to visit another chapter. I'd like to see how they do things. I want to meet some of the people in that chapter. How do I do this appropriately? How do I visit? Do I just register myself? And something Kelly and I feel very passionate about is members visiting and talking to other members and building relationships with other members. There's chapters all over the state, 450 members worth of people that don't necessarily have all professions filled in their chapters and don't have contacts for the things that might benefit them the most. So why not bring the family together and have people talk to each other? Well, there's one downside, one piece of that that can go bad. And I want to try to educate you on how to stop that from happening and make it so that it's a positive experience. We want you cross-chapter visiting. We want you networking. We want you building relationships. That's a core value of BNI, is building relationships. But how do you do it effectively and appropriately while still helping that other chapter out and not being what we call a classification cowboy or a serial visitor? Because the last thing you want to do is stop another chapter from growing. And you can do that by visiting too much or too often, or subbing too much or too often. But subbing once in a while can be a benefit to someone. So that's our suggestion, is sub for somebody. Use the BNI Maine members Facebook group page. If somebody's looking for a sub, first off, if you're looking for a sub, the very best sub you can ever find in BNI is a visitor to your chapter. Reach out to somebody, invite them to sub for you. It takes the pressure off. They no longer feel an obligation to come in and that they're going to be expected to be a member. They're doing you a favor by subbing. They get exposed to the chapter. They see the amazing things that are going on. They might want to come back as a visitor later on. That is the best substitute in BNI. Next best substitute, obviously, is somebody from your company coming and representing you. If you cannot find another sub from your company or somebody that's in your sphere of subs, reaching out to another member is an okay thing to do. It should not be your first reach out. You should look for a visitor first. You should look for somebody within your organization first. But if you can't find somebody, members like to help other members out. That's why we're all here. It's givers gain. If you post in that members group looking for a sub, that means you've already tried somewhere else. You've already tried to find a visitor. You've already tried to find another sub. You're down to using your BNI network to find yourself a sub. That's what you're resorting to. If you're a BNI Maine member and you can sub for someone, that's a great way to visit another chapter. It's a great way to go in, givers gain, help that person out by representing their business. And if the chapter doesn't have your profession filled, they're going to let you talk about your business. I highly suggest that one time. Okay, one time for that person. Then go sub for somebody else or another chapter. Try to limit it to one time. Max 2. 2 is the BNI policy. You cannot visit a chapter more than twice unless you remember that chapter. Beyond 2, it's getting into that murky water of the serial sub thing, and it starts getting people thinking that you're filling a role that you're not filling, and it starts negative feelings, and it does the opposite of building good relationships that we're looking for. So that's my suggestion, is if you need a sub for your chapter, try to find a visitor. Try to find somebody that'll bring benefit to your chapter, somebody that's totally outside that your chapter is looking for to fill a seat in the chapter. Bring that person in. If you can't find that person, maybe there's somebody from your office, maybe there's somebody from your organization, maybe there's some other contact you have. If you can't find that person, reach out to BNI Maine members. Do not reach out to the same person over and over again. It's very awkward when they're trying to do something nice for you and it's coming negatively back on them because the chapter feels like they're a serial sub and they're filling in all the time just to benefit themselves. That's counterproductive to them. So don't do that to your fellow members. Find somebody different, go outside your sphere, get somebody new, bring value to the meeting. When you have a sub come in, we're losing something by you not being there. So bring value to that meeting in that you're bringing somebody valuable in that is a new voice, a new person for contacts, somebody new for your chapter to meet. That's a great substitute for your meeting. And don't forget, try to limit your subs as much as possible because we want you there. We want you being the member. We want you building relationships. We want you seeing the results. That happens when you are in the room. So keep your subs to a very minimal. Try to bring in visitors if you do need a sub. If you last resort, reach out to another BNI Maine member. they're going to want to help you out. If you're looking to visit other chapters, be that resort for somebody. Sure, I can help you out. I can sub for your chapter this week. You'll get to meet some new contacts. You'll cover for them. They'll get coverage. It's a win-win all the way around. But you don't want to be that serial sub, that person that's subbing in a chapter all the time, to where the negative side of that is that chapter feels like they already have someone in your profession. They don't fill it, and animosity starts. That's what we're trying to alleviate. That's what we're trying to avoid here. Want everybody to be successful while the family really comes together and helps each other. You see somebody asking for a sub in that group and you know somebody that could sub for them, reach out and say, hey, a friend of mine in a networking organization is looking for a sub this week. Would you like to come talk about your business while talking about their business? No pressure. Do something nice for somebody else. That's my tip this week. Go in it with a clean heart and looking to do best by everybody, and we'll all be doing great. Thanks so much, everybody, for watching. Happy networking and have a great week.